though, because it's like Bill Paxton unhinged, and I loved it.
And of course, yeah, and he's a used car salesman. Like he's the perfect role. He's got that. I'm not knocking mustaches in general, but that mustache.
Yeah, he grew that on purpose. With the turtleneck, I want to see more Bill Paxton turtlenecs. That's for certain.
All the things with the infidelity, with Tom Arnold going back and forth with them. It's like Tom Arnold was. Remember when we were talking about Tom Arnold's like, "Hey, welcome to the club, pal." This, that, and the other. When they find out that Helen's maybe doing this thing, he says, "Let me tell you something, man. Back my third wife, when she left me, that bitch took the ice cube trays out of the freezer. What kind of a sick bitch takes the ice cube trays out of a freezer?" Yeah. Like some of the lines in this.
Oh, I heard that was personal, that Roseanne Barr actually did that to him. I saw it in the trivia, and that's why he brought it up.
Oh, wow. Oh,
I can strike that listener question. What kind of sick Roseanne Barr?
Now, also, James Cameron got in trouble for this, because a lot of people didn't want Tom Arnold in the movie. But James Cameron's like, I'm putting Tom Arnold in the movie.
And that was because of the drama with Roseanne.
Yeah.
That he had gone through.
Well, I mean, after anyone saw him a year earlier in 9 months as that rabid, proactive dad.
Oh, he was so funny. I
love 9 months.
That was what? Jeff Goldblum, Julianne Moore, Hugh Grant, Joan Cusack, Tom Arnold.
So many people.
Yeah.
That was just
another wonderful movie.
Robin Williams.
Yep. Is the neonatologist.
I went to that theater 3 times to watch that movie. All right, hey, how about this? Let's take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll talk more True Lie. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks, and I love that Arnold Schwarzenegger was terrible at smoking cigarettes in this movie.
Dude, when he did that, all I could think is, why did you inhale that? You're built like that. You've never inhaled a cigarette in your life.
I think they're too small for his hands, honestly. I mean, he's done well at smoking cigars in other movies, probably because they're bigger and longer.
Yes.
But you're not inhaling those.
No.
And he has been a spy for a long time. Is this the first time you ever tried to look cool with a cigarette?
Probably.
But doesn't Tom Arnold make fun of him?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I like it.
He's a jackass. I just said it so loud he almost blew his cover.
Like, he was willing to make fun of himself in this movie. That's why I kind of liked it. Like, Arnold put a cigarette in his mouth and smoked it terribly, too. But, and he got defeated by the Sand Spider, too, the leader of the Crimson Jihad.
Oh, that name.
I love that they're too extreme for the extremist sex, so then they're going on their own. And, okay, Megan asked this question. There were these really old artifacts, and they delivered nuclear missiles inside of them.
Yeah.
How did they get them in there? Is that your question? That was my question, too. That was my question, too. They're priceless. It's like, well, if you got them in there, you could get them out.
Yeah.
Right?
They're not priceless anymore.
And that's the thing. I mean, if they created something with plaster and put it in there, then it wouldn't be priceless. So why is it priceless?
Yeah, maybe the heads are.
I had to invent a whole backstory in my head to justify that scene. I'm not kidding. My backstory is that they literally excavated it from the top to hollow it out, put in the warheads, the MIRVs, and then filled that with cement so there was no tactful way to get it out so that it would hopefully get through whatever kind of x-ray screening that happened. But, like, again, I'm coming up with the whole story in my head for this, and I should not be doing that.
Yeah, the archaeological shipments in the 90s weren't as strict, I guess, as they definitely are now.
So
archaeological.
Okay, those things are priceless, which really, though, it's like someone has to be able to buy it, right? But let's just say she could have gotten millions of dollars for it, or $1 million. She was asked, why are you working with these terrorists? She said, because they're paying me a lot of money. It's like, are they paying you more than you would have gotten by legally selling these priceless artifacts? At that point, this is like the crazy rich villain scenario. You're like, do you really need the $10 million that they're going to pay you instead of the $1 million you could have made legally and not been on the run for the rest of your life?
That's a really good question.
It's a gamble.
But I guess if you're a villain, why take $1 million when you can have 10?
Or are they paying her $50 million? I mean, this is the early 90s. I don't think they're paying her $50 million.
Yeah, who's funding this?
This isn't like Mission Impossible Fallout, where we're doing a wire transfer of $15 million just so you can prison break somebody in an afternoon. You know what I mean? Like, these numbers, so I didn't get that either about it.
I have another random question for you guys Bill Paxton in this movie, he does this beautiful dead-eyed stare when he goes in Cairo, where he does this completely dead-eye stare. Totally fictional. But what do you think fictionally happened to him in Cairo that made him fake such a great dead-eyed stare?
I think that he just decided on his own he needed Elton Yard's stare story, and he just decided to pick a place.
No, but what do you think fictionally happened to him? If it didn't happen, but what do you think in his head he thinks happened in Cairo?
Something deadly that got him laid.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he lost his partner.
I don't think he thought that far ahead.
Spurned by a woman or something.
Yeah, he lost his partner. He got double-crossed by a woman. His dog got blown up, and his grandparents got catapulted into
all of this together.
The stratosphere. Yep. And that's the first day.
That's like when a Bond villain comes after you from who survived in part 1, but you thought you killed him, and then he comes and kills everyone you know.
Oh yeah, like that's yeah, it's like
that's like between Casino Royale and the next movie. Right? He had his love. He was willing to be done. Then they killed her, and then he's like, I'm back.
Oh, angrier than ever.
Right.
These idiots. No, those idiots. Wait.
That's idiots. Here to tango.
Oh man. And then, so what do you think about the whole recruiting of Jamie Lee Curtis?
So that's about the most ridiculous thing that could happen in this movie. Well, I get that these secret agents I'm going to say I get based on what movies tell me that these secret agents cultivate assets. Okay, fine. On paper, maybe they put her down as some asset or something, and he gives her some nonsense mission, right? But and there's going to be no risk because he's making it up and he's just setting up a hotel room so that we can see that wonderful striptease, which, by the way, was this not the same exact year that the movie Striptease with Demi Moore came out?
I think that's
it was
following. I don't think it was 94. I think Striptease was 96, right?
Do you think that this inspired Striptease?
Yeah, the director saw it and did it. Megan did some reading on this, and apparently it was just her in a silhouette, right?
It was supposed to be, and Jamie suggested that they do it in full light with lingerie.
And she brought her own, right? And she trained for it every day?
I don't know about that.
Oh, but you said that it was her own. She said that she brought her own stuff for it.
According to IMDb trivia.
Oh, okay, not from her mouth. Yeah, but she trained for it. I mean, we like that. Yeah, and then
that's
Arnold.
Such a memorable scene, though. They made fun of that in The Critic.
And remember when Arnold dropped the recorder? I guess he really did that, and they just kept it in.
That was so funny because that felt so real too, though. You know, you got this husband who's coming home late all the night, his wife's already asleep, kind of thing, and then he sees like, whoa.
Yeah. Now, like,
and she really was pulling a whoa, like.
Yeah, Bill Paxton alludes to it earlier. He says she could be really hot if she wanted to.
Yeah, and then was there that scene she's on the bike working out? So I guess they're led to it, right?
It's just funny.
Yeah.
When she rips off her sleeves of that ridiculous dress they set her up with.
Oh yeah.
And then she gets the vase water for her hair. I love it. In my head, though, it's like that vase water is going to smell like plant.
It's
you know what I mean?
Smell
when it's
horrible, is what I was thinking.
It even gets a little green when it's been sitting there all day.
Mm-hmm. Like, it gets a little scummy.
Yeah. She probably smells algal.
He put her through hell, though, man. Do you think it's? I mean, it's played as a joke, and it's from that movie. But do you think that was really fair what he did to her?
The interrogation scene was a bit much, but at the same time, he is a spy who kills people. Now, I'm not saying that makes you a bad person. I'm not saying that. But he is a spy who kills people for a living. He has already killed this week in the world of this movie. This week, he has killed 12 people on jet skis and in a mall bathroom in D.C.
Yeah.
Right? So he's a killer. There's probably a little interesting temperament there. And he thought that his wife, that he loved dearly, and by the way, for all those faces Juno was making, man, he just led poor Juno on. Poor Juno, no wonder she felt scolded and rejected by him. Like he for all we know, he's been playing it totally right despite his job, and he thinks that his wife of 17 years is cheating on him with this scummy guy. So I'm not justifying what he did. I'm just saying that I get it.
Yeah, could he have handled it in a more mature way? Probably. But he ends up costing his company money in the interrogation room. I was really surprised at her smashing the glass.
Yeah.
She breaks it. I was like, that is costing them more money than they bargained for when they brought his wife in here.
Yeah, all those but are the task force going to talk about that now? But also, he also married a woman knowing he was going to have to lie to her for 17 years. So he's like
they
they definitely should go to therapy after this.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that's a good starting point for that. But she gets back at him pretty well. I was really thrown by her hitting him with that phone, because do you guys remember how heavy phones were back then? They were full of metal parts.
Mm-hmm. I am rewatching this the other day, and I was like, he's got a concussion.
I know. I mean, it should have broken some skin on his face for sure.
He would have needed stitches on the back of his head.
That thing.
She hit him more than once with it.
It would have thunked you.
And then, not that he isn't huge, but then she kicks the dude in the ribs while he's down.
Yeah.
She doesn't know this, but he has terrorists to fight later on. Like.
Now, what would you rather get hit with? A phone, or an espresso machine, or a water heater?
Or a snow cone maker?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the espresso machine. But then again, those are big chunky metal things. I don't know. Gosh.
Yeah. Why? I love that he kept going too. He just kept naming different things.
He was in that moment though where he just knows. It's like I'm supposed to not cooperate. Yeah. Okay, I have to. He went until he absolutely had to cooperate. I think. And
he also can snap necks like he can rip a butter in half. Did you notice that?
He's really good. He can snap necks upside down while holding on to rope with his ankles. When I was watching him slide down, I'm like, dude weighs about 220, 230 in this movie, and he is upside down wearing dress shoes that don't have a lot of grip, sliding down a rope with no hands. I get it. It's a movie, and I love the scene, too. The scene makes me smile.
Oh, yeah. It's like super spinous at its finest.
And then he's kicking guns up in the air and shooting people.
Oh, that was awesome, though. I love that, how he kicks that up into his hand. That's been used in a lot of movies. The Rock did that in The Rundown. In that closing finale killing anthem.
So he definitely did. And Arnold passed the torch to The Rock, too, in The Rundown. So you think they did it on purpose?
Have fun, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So, and my friend actually had a listener question about something that happens in this action section of the movie. But Buddy from New Jersey asked, who makes a gun that randomly goes off when it gets bumped, a la falling down the stairs, and where can I get one of those myself?
They ran right into those bullets, too.
Dude, it was amazing how, even if only 1 in 5 bullets hit a person, when you really think of the randomness, like 1/10 of a degree of angle off in any direction, and that bullet's going to miss someone by 20 feet.
Yeah. Do you think those guards
did they kill like 8 people?
I think the guards just wanted out.
They were running into the bullets. Like they had super speed, and they were running into the bullets.
I can't live this anymore. I'm tired of it. I don't want a nuclear bomb a city.
It's interesting how ridiculous this scene is in concept, right? And yet it is a combination, super memorable, super fun, exciting, funny scene, and Jamie Lee Curtis gets a great spotlight moment.
I think it's not. I guess it's not meant to have an MFF data post. That's for sure. It's just meant to have fun with, right? I had the biggest smile on my face during it.
The Equilibrium gun clerics were studying this.
Yeah.
For their gun katas.
I do want to say the one thing that really took me out of this movie is when Art Malik runs into the bathroom and starts shooting at Arnold. Now I know he has 2 extended clips together, but he shoots about 700 bullets in that bathroom, and he never reloads those clips. That's the one thing. I mean, I know it's a 90s action movie, but I don't know. He fired a lot of bullets from those things.
Let's assume that when for 2 seconds you switch camera view to Arnold, he's switching the clip.
Oh, there it is.
Like every time it's not a continuous shot on him, he's switching a clip.
There it is.
And that poor dude in the stall, by the way, who ends up like, his pants are still down, and he's like, when everything's done, he goes and pokes his head out. It's like, I mean, he's not going to get killed, but every time I watch this movie, I'm relieved he's okay.
I feel bad that his pants get wet.
His pants ruined.
Yeah, I know I'm watching this action scene with people getting murdered, but I'm like, this poor guy. I also like in this movie, sometimes Arnold comes across big villains, big henchmen, and they kind of lay him out a little bit. So
he had a tough time with them.
He's like snapping necks like butter, and he's just murdering people. But I do like, nowadays that would never happen to Dwayne Johnson or Vin Diesel or Jason Statham. I like that Arnold, in the height of his power, got dropped a few times by henchmen. I dig that. Like, I don't know. Yeah, when's the last time The Rock was ever dropped by a henchman?
Well, at least 5 or 8 years ago.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Because in the Fast and Furious movies,